Good, happy Wednesday morning, April 22nd, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to Good Morning, New Hampshire. It is Earth Day as well, everyone. Hopefully you're having a great Wednesday morning. We have a lot of stuff in your Good Morning, New Hampshire, a little bit of everything for everybody. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, and enjoy some Good Morning, New Hampshire. Rise and shine, everyone. Let's get this Wednesday and Earth Day off to a good start. First up, we're going to begin with the news. Let's begin with your local news first. First up, Sununu announces reopening task force as COVID-19 numbers continue to platoon in New Hampshire. Let's take a listen to that video.
These are truly challenging times, but New Hampshire companies are here and open for business.
The number of cases is holding steady, but state health leaders are still waiting for the spread of coronavirus to decrease.
Over the last approximately 2 weeks, on a daily basis, there have been approximately 70 to 75 individuals hospitalized with COVID-19 throughout all of our hospitals in the state. This number has remained relatively stable.
That stability is a good sign, leading Governor Sununu to believe it's less likely we'll see a surge at the end of April, beginning of May.
Hopefully we're just kind of in this plateau right now, and that, if we can start seeing some decline in numbers, that would be great.
New Hampshire's stay-at-home order is in place until May 4th. Sununu says more information on that will come within the next week or so. But the state is taking a step towards reopening the economy with the formation of a task force that meets tomorrow for the first time.
This is not an open-closed situation. It just isn't, nor should it be. We've always said public health has to be preeminent.
The group is made up of 19 people. Bipartisan lawmakers, state officials, and business leaders will come up with a plan to carefully reopen businesses. Sununu says decisions will be based on science and data.
Following some of the guidance that has come out of the federal government with a phased, stepwise approach, making sure that, again, we're not going to create a situation that allows a second or third surge of this virus to hit us.
And regarding unemployment, Sununu says the state has now paid out $88 million to 184,000 claims in recent weeks. He says most of the claims have been approved, but some of the more complicated ones are still being worked out. Reporting live in Concord, Mike Cronin, WMUR News Now.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at your COVID-19 in New Hampshire, what you need to know. And here's a look at that COVID-19 in New Hampshire, what you need to know. There are 1,491 number of people in New Hampshire who have tested positive for COVID-19. 810,561 number of people in the United States who have tested positive. 42 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 206 number of people who have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire, and 43,630 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. This map of New Hampshire shows you where the cases of COVID-19 are in the towns and cities of New Hampshire. Manchester, 287 cases of COVID-19. In this chart here, new cases each day in New Hampshire in the purple, daily new positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, new hospitalizations, and in the red are the deaths. Your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, and difficult breathing. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into national news. In national news, we're drained, we're exhausted, on the front lines with first responders in Boston. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
And even though the plateau has been reached here in New York, still at a devastating level, we note that in Illinois and Massachusetts and elsewhere, they're still fighting the surge of this virus. And tonight we're with the EMTs in Boston as that state also prepares for the next eventual step. They're using contact tracing. They've hired 1,000 disease detectives, as they're called, to track any new waves of this virus. We've heard a lot about this, so we wonder tonight, how will it actually work? Here's Will Reeve from Boston tonight.
Tonight, Boston in the grips of the pandemic. We're with the first responders working round the clock, fanning out through the city, answering call after call, many of the patients suspected to be sick with COVID-19. EMTs taking every precaution, scrubbing up in layers of PPE. The patient has been loaded into the ambulance. The EMTs took off their scrubs, disposed of the PPE. Now they're headed to the hospital. The grueling routine taking a toll on these first responders.
There's no sugarcoating this stuff. We're drained. We are exhausted.
The death toll in Massachusetts nearing 2,000, with hospitals bracing for any surge, the state battling the virus on another front.
We've got to do this right, and we've got to respect the virus. Big time.
Fighting to stop the spread with a critical tool, 1,000 contact tracers, who call anyone who's tested positive so they can alert others who came within 6 feet of that person for more than 15 minutes. These so-called disease detectives like Mia Williams in Kentucky are working the phones.
It's like an emotional roller coaster in a way, because what you're trying to do is connect all these cases, and from connecting all of those cases, you're trying to prevent or control spread.
I work for Salt Lake County Health Department.
In Salt Lake County, Utah, tracers have tracked 85% of the known cases there.
Will Reeve with us from Boston tonight. And Will, this contact tracing sounds probably for people at home like an overwhelming undertaking as this country prepares to reopen. So these contact tracers in Massachusetts, they want to find anyone who has had close contact with people who have tested positive?
Yes, David, and that close contact is defined as coming within 6 feet of someone for 15 minutes or more. So anyone who comes into that close contact with someone who has tested positive will be asked to self-isolate. Now, those tracers here, they have a lot ahead of them. This process starts out with phone calls to individuals, and so far in Massachusetts, there have been over 41,000 confirmed cases. David?
So anyone within 6 feet for 15 minutes or more. Will Reeve, our thanks to you for that report.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And we're going to still stay in your national news. Let's give you your national news coronavirus updates for the whole world. First known U.S. death occurred earlier than initially thought, autopsies says. The novel coronavirus has now killed more than 177,000 people worldwide. Today's biggest developments. U.S. death tops 45,000. California officials find earliest known U.S. fatalities from virus. 8 babies test positive for COVID-19 at Japan's children's home. In Germany, UK approve human vaccine trials. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into business news. In your business news, Dow futures jump 350 points to session higher as oil stages sharp turnaround. U.S. stock futures pointed to a strong gains at the open on Wednesday following recent weakness in markets aggravated by oil massive decline as crude prices attempted to stabilize in early trading. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into weather and traffic. We're going to begin with the weather first. Your weather right now is partly cloudy, 32 degrees. Your weather for today, partly cloudy, windy, high 43 degrees, winds west-northwest at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Higher wind gusts possible. And now let's take a look at the traffic right now. And here's a look at the traffic for all of you right now. In Henniker, you're seeing some smooth sailing, and we have a delay of 4 minutes, and delays increasing on US 202 northbound in Henniker. Town average speed 25 miles per hour. Hopkinton, smooth sailing with some medium and slow-paced traffic here. Bow, Pembroke, Concord, all smooth sailing. Chichester, smooth sailing. Epsom, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Northwood, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Lee, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Durham, smooth sailing with some medium slow-paced traffic. Rochester, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Somersworth, smooth sailing. Dover, smooth sailing. And Portsmouth, smooth sailing. Maine, smooth sailing with some medium and slow-paced traffic. Rye, smooth sailing. Northampton, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Hampton, smooth sailing. Seabrook, smooth sailing into the border, Massachusetts. 101, all smooth sailing on 101. Around Manchester and Hooksett, all smooth sailing. Accident on I-93 southbound at exit 6/7, New Hampshire 101. And around the Manchester airport, smooth sailing with some construction and delays of 2 minutes, and delays easing on I-93 northbound and southeast, average 20 miles per hour is the speed right now. Bedford, you're seeing some smooth sailing with a little spot of medium-paced traffic. Amherst, smooth sailing. And Milford, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Merrimack, smooth sailing. Nashua, smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic and some construction into the border, Massachusetts. Nashua, Milford, all smooth sailing with some medium-paced traffic. Manchester, Derry, Windham, Salem into the border, Massachusetts, all smooth sailing. And again, accident here, delay of 2 minutes, and then delays of 6 minutes on Allen B. Shepherd Jr. Highway in Peppermint Corner. Average speed is 5 miles per hour. That is a look at your traffic for today. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into New Hampshire Life. Today in your New Hampshire Life segment, restaurants feed those in need in New Hampshire. Some restaurants give away meals, slice of pizza. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
These are truly challenging times, but New Hampshire companies are here and open for business.
During these times of uncertainty, Manchester Firing Line Range, Gun Shop, and Training Facility is open. If you have questions about protecting your...
At Mickey's New York Pizza in Hudson, people are doing a double take when they see the sign outside. No money, no problem. Free slices for those in need.
Don't feel shy. Don't feel like... embarrassed or whatever. Just come in. We're all in this together.
Owner Tony Nasser says the community has been good to him, and it's his turn to give back. He's also feeding first responders for free.
If you're working and your department needs something, just give us a call and we'll deliver it for you.
In Center Harbor, Osteria Poggio is giving away free meals for families twice a week on Tuesdays and Saturdays.
Roasted our braised leg of lamb. We did stroganoff with pork meatballs. We've done 2 different kinds of meatloaf.
This restaurant isn't usually open now, but it saw a need. Suppliers and other businesses have given them ingredients at little or no cost. Over the past month, it's given away about 3,000 meals.
We went about it because we love our community and we love the people in it, and we really want to take care of them while we can, the best we can.
Tucker's is delivering free meals to frontline workers. The restaurant just dropped off 75 meals to emergency room workers at Elliott Hospital. They call it Operation Good Eats for great people.
It's a $10 donation, and that sponsors one meal for a healthcare provider in our community, and Tucker's is matching every donation with another meal.
Tucker's is also selling staples to customers who need them.
We have convenience items like butter, flour. We even have individually wrapped rolls of toilet paper right now because that seems to be a hot commodity. Anything to do our part. We're just trying to connect our customers with the things that they need.
3 businesses doing their part to feed the need. Erin Phalo, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Very good story there. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's learn how to make carrot bacon. Yes, that's right. I said carrot bacon. Let's take a look at that video.
Would you see carrots or do you see bacon? I'm about to make carrot bacon. You need a shaver. And then you shave it like so, like that. You see how it looks real thin? Now you got a few strips, but you know what? If you want more than this, do that, because that's your business. You're going to need some liquid smoke, maple syrup. Don't call it a comeback, honey. You've been here for years. Garlic powder, smoked paprika, and a little bit of this onion powder with pepper. Like so, like that. Then mix this all up, because this is your seasoning. And this is your concoction for the carrots to turn it into the bacon. Then put the bacon in there, make sure it get thoroughly seasoned. You can leave it in there for about 2 minutes or so. Put it in your air fryer or your oven. 380 for 5 minutes. Take it out and baby, you got some bacon in there. Let's check the crunch. Listen real good. Yep.
Wow, that looks very yummy. I want to try that. Carrot bacon. Never heard about it. And as you know, today is Earth Day. Happy Earth Day to all of you today, everyone. The first Earth Day, April 22nd, 1970. This date in history. Let's learn about the first Earth Day and how Earth Day became Earth Day.
The first Earth Day. Earth Day, an event to increase public awareness of the world's environmental problems, is celebrated in the United States for the first time on April 22, 1970. Millions of Americans, including students from thousands of colleges and universities, participated in rallies, marches, and educational programs across the country. Earth Day was the brainchild of Senator Gaylord Nelson of Wisconsin, a staunch environmentalist who hoped to provide unity to the grassroots environmental movement and increase ecological awareness. Senator Nelson said, the objective was to get a nationwide demonstration of concern for the environment, so large that it would shake the political establishment out of its lethargy, and, finally, force this issue permanently onto the national political agenda. The 1962 publication of Rachel Carson's book Silent Spring, about the effects of pesticides, is often cited as the beginning of the modern environmental movement in the U.S. Sustainability, organic eating and the Back to the Land movement continued to gain steam throughout the 1960s. The first Earth Day indeed increased environmental awareness in America, and in July of 1970 the Environmental Protection Agency was established, by special executive order to regulate and enforce national pollution legislation. Earth Day also led to the passage of the Clean Water and Endangered Species Acts. On April 22, 1990, the 20th anniversary of Earth Day, more than 200 million people in 141 countries participated in Earth Day celebrations. Senator Nelson was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Clinton. He died in 2005. Earth Day has been celebrated on different days by different groups internationally. The United Nations officially celebrates it on the vernal equinox, which usually occurs about March 21st. Earth Day 2020, the 50th anniversary, will be celebrated on April 22nd.
Okay, there you go. Some history about Earth Day. Very cool indeed. And we want to see your photos. How will you be celebrating Earth Day? Show us your photos and videos on the Riley King Network Facebook page. Just email them to rileyking12@gmail.com. Sorry about that. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into entertainment news. In entertainment news, watch Brad Pitt play weatherman on John Kariarski's show. Let's take a look at that video from Entertainment Tonight.
We should do a check on the weather. Brad, how's it looking out there?
Looks, pretty good. Yeah.
Thanks, Brad.
Brad Pitt, ladies and gentlemen, Oscar winner / weatherman? The 56-year-old actor made a surprise cameo on Sunday's episode of John Krasinski's Some Good News internet show, which has been pretty freaking cute, highlighting positive news amid the ongoing coronavirus pandemic.
If you are at risk and you need help getting essential items, let me know and I will do what I can to help. It says Mailman Kyle and my phone number. And I delivered a little under 400 of those notes, and I've heard something from pretty much every person.
And while most of the show was a recap on John's virtual prom, Brad popped in halfway through to give an update on the weather.
We should do a check on the weather. Brad, how's it looking out there?
Looks, pretty good. Yeah.
Thanks, Brad.
Okay, so maybe Brad shouldn't quit his day job.
Looks, pretty good. Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
But this actually isn't the first time that Brad has given it a go.
To help us understand climate change and what it means to the world, here's our own Jim Jeffrey Show weatherman. How's it looking out there, weatherman?
Thank you, Jim. So things are going to be getting warmer in this area here and this area here.
Thank you, Jim Jeffrey Show weatherman. Do you have any future forecasts for us?
There is no future.
Yeah, Brad has made several appearances on the Jim Jeffries Show, serving up some super depressing weather forecasts.
How's it looking out there, weatherman?
Well, Jim, carbon dioxide is slowly turning our planet into an uninhabitable wasteland, and half the population don't believe it.
Depressing, yes, but damn, he makes the weather look good.
So what's the forecast?
The forecast is we're all going to die, and there will be no one left to remember our stories.
Thank you as always, weatherman.
Sure thing, Jim.
Okay, and there you go. And now let's take a look at those famous birthdays for today. And happy birthday to all of these celebrities for today. We hope they have a wonderful birthday and a wonderful day. And thank you for watching this Wednesday morning edition of Good Morning New Hampshire. I hope you all have a wonderful Wednesday, everyone. I'll see you back here later on today for another edition of... I'll see you back here next time for another edition of Good Morning New Hampshire. And I'll see you back here later on today for Good Evening New Hampshire. Goodbye, everyone.